religions, which they list over well over 100 different cult entries, and they state that a cult is, quote, by its primary definition, the term cult means a system of religious beliefs or rituals. It is based on a farming term in Latin meaning cultivation. Sociologists and anthropologists sometimes use the term cult to describe religious structure or belief patterns with meanings, usually non-pejorative, unique to their disciplines. In a modern usage, the term cult is often used by the general public to describe any religious group they view as strange or dangerous. Thus, cult can describe religious leaders or organizations that employ abusive, manipulative, or illegal control over their followers' lives. In addition to these usages, Christians generally have a doctrinal component to their use of the word. Hold on just a second, I lost my place so I could scroll up. It says, cult in this sense is a counterfeit or serious deviation from the doctrines of classical Christianity. But because of their aberrant beliefs on central doctrines of the faith, God, Jesus, and salvation, the organization is not considered by Watchman Fellowship to be part of Orthodox biblical Christianity. And then they say that there's research materials and stuff available on their profile. This is their entry for the Church of Christ. It says, Churches of Christ. The Independent Churches of Christ movement was one of several associations and denominations that developed from Alexander Campbell, Walter Scott, and Barton W. Stone's restoration movement of the early 19th century, which was designed to promote unity among Protestants. Many, but not all, churches of Christ today, however, differ from traditional Protestant doctrine in two key areas. Many maintain that water salvation and or other commandments, rather than salvation by grace through faith alone, are required for salvation. See baptismal regeneration and salvation by works attachment. Some also believe that today's churches of Christ are the only true churches on the earth, and they can literally trace their history to the first century church in Jerusalem. And then, close quote. And then I go on to state, not all Church of Christ congregations and Church of Christ members are aberrant or heretical to the point of apostasy that they must be labeled a cult or cult members. From my reading of members who have left the Church of Christ, these figures are stated between 20 and 70%. And at the time, whenever I come up with these figures, I had checked out almost every ex-Church of Christ website, and I don't believe that they've changed since then. And then I go on to state from an article, Unity and Diversity, Unity in Essentials, I go on to state this. The article is actually called 34,000 Differing Denominations, or Unity Within Diversity, Unity in Essentials by Damon Witzel, and it's available at howtobecomechristian.info. In a portion called Unity Within Diversity, I state, a few months ago I was engaged in debates at FactNet, a cult watch ministry, with followers of Arnold Murray and the Shepherd's Chapel. They can be called a Christian cult because they do not hold to essential doctrine. They cannot be called a denomination or a true church. They have nothing in common with others that call themselves Christians except for the name Christian. They hold an unorthodox view concerning the nature of man, the nature of God, sin, and salvation. From non-essentials such as the heresy of pre-existence to the heresy of Anglo-Israelism to the essentials of God, man, and salvation by grace, not works or genetics, they are unorthodox to the core. They are unified. They are not unified within diversity as real Christians are. They are isolated and don't have unity with those who hold to essential doctrines. Let me explain what I mean by unity within diversity. My phone book lists about 20 different local Christian churches. Among them are denominations and non-denominational churches and Christian cults. I can go to most of these churches and have much unity and belief with them, especially concerning Jesus. In essentials unity, and non-essentials liberty, and in all things love. Some I could not attend at all because they are diametrically opposed to the essential Orthodox Christian beliefs. But we must remember that they are cults by virtue of their unorthodox teachings. Christian churches and denominations enjoy a shared unity within diversity about beliefs concerning God, man, sin, and salvation. Amongst all non-cult denominations and non-denominational churches. But a follower of Arnold Murray and the Shepherd's Chapel and the Shepherd Chapelers cannot enjoy the same unity in other local churches, with other local churches. To fellowship, they have to travel to Arkansas or do their fellowshipping online with other Shepherd Chapelers. They are isolated, exclusive, and authoritarian because of their beliefs. There are essential beliefs that are essential to Orthodox Christianity. There are beliefs that are important but not essential. And there are beliefs that have no relevance at all concerning orthodoxy, such as ecclesiology and eschatology. Because most of these churches hold to essential doctrines, they could be essentially called Christian. But some would have to be called Christian cults because they are not Christian by virtue of the essence of their beliefs about Jesus Christ, yet still apply the term Christians to themselves. In this article here, I really do not address the specific doctrines that make the Church of Christ a cult. Of course, some of the like the quote from Watchman Fellowship did state that they are cultic on the grounds that they claim to be the one true church, and that they also claim that water baptism is a necessary part for salvation, and thus they promote a works-based salvation. But on my site at howtobecomechristian.info or howtobecomechristian.infoblog.com, I have several writings on the Church of Christ cult, and many articles that I did not write that are also posted. So if y'all would like more information about the Church of Christ cult and what exactly makes them a Church of Christ cult, feel free to visit my blogs. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.